Soviet disk detected. To play the Allied missions, please insert the Allied disk.
Hello everyone, I'm a Broken Robot. When it comes to a game as popular and widespread as Minecraft, there's going to be a range of opinions and critiques. Some people think that Netherite ruined the game's progression system, while others claim that it added to Minecraft's endgame complexity. Some people think that the cave update ruined mining, while others claimed it fixed Minecraft's core game mechanic. Whether it's your favorite ore or the proper way to build a house, you'll never receive just one answer from the Minecraft community. This debate can be found especially in the category of the most impactful mob, with everything from the humble cow to the iconic creeper being labeled as some of the best mobs in Minecraft. In this robot's humble opinion, no mob is as important to gameplay and lore of Minecraft than that of the humble villager. Its unique game mechanics, in-game speculative lore, and their ability to reproduce and populate massive structures and cities make them great for any Minecraft playthrough, whether you're into exploration, building, or just trying to beat the game as quickly as possible. That's why today I'd like to discuss the speculative lore, in-game impact, and legacy of Minecraft's most Squidward looking mob. When it comes to the lore behind Minecraft, much like opinions on the best mob, you'll never receive one answer. Some online have claimed that villagers are an entirely different species than the human players, while some far-out theories claim that villagers are aliens or even mutants. In my own personal headcanon, the villagers mean so much more. Feel free to check out these previous videos I made for further information about my own take on the speculative lore of Minecraft. When it comes to the lore behind villagers, we have to go back to their introduction. The 0.9 update added villages as a pre-generated structure, and more importantly, villagers as a new human-like mob. Where the villagers came from is up for debate, but what we know based off the in-game structures that are found on the overworld, that the villagers are somewhat of a remnant of a devolved form of humanity. That's right. The villagers you encounter in your Minecraft world are the far-off descendants of the same humans that escaped the zombie plague in the collapse of the ancient human builder civilization. Exactly how the survivors of the ancient builders devolved isn't known, but millions of in-game years after the collapse of humanity, the remnants of their civilization can be found. These offshoots of humanity built vastly different civilizations. The desert temples, often half buried in the ground, show evidence that at one point the villagers could build advanced structures. Jungle temples show not only that villagers could work with redstone, but also carved out a place under the sun in hostile environments. Shipwrecks and even trail ruins are all remnants from the villagers before they devolved, with future sites of villages being just a stone's toss away from many of these structures. Shipwrecks often resulted in coastal villages that you'll encounter in-game. The collapse of the desert civilization led to only remnants of their empire being found in the form of desert wells and desert villages. Igloos litter the frozen tundra, so villagers that travel from place to place can have a place to seek shelter when caught in blizzards. Biomes like swamps and jungles became too difficult that they were abandoned. From in-game evidence, we can conclude that the villagers do follow some form of religion based around trade, emeralds, and their reliance on iron golems for protection. In fact, at some point in the Minecraft timeline, villagers abandoned their ability to build and defend themselves, instead leaving construction solely to their golem servants for better or worse. Initially, when the villagers abandoned their building in warlike ways, most villages were constructed with large houses with smaller overall village space, but as time went on, villages adopted smaller houses with larger areas to use as their village sites. Here, however, was a major turning point in villager culture. Some villagers fully embraced their pacifist ways, and despite zombie attacks at night, their peaceful ways kept their communities running indefinitely. Villagers at first refused to trade with human players, but as the environment around them became more complex and hostile, some classes of villagers began trading for emeralds, a holy symbol in village culture. Villagers often bred cats to live alongside them in order to deter creepers from coming near their homes, and renewable gardens were established to make villages self-sufficient. Everything changed when the illagers broke off from village society. The illagers were a faction of villagers that believed that they should return to their ancient ways of using weapons for defense, constructing larger and more complex structures, and to utilize forbidden magic. Luckily for the pillagers, another group of villagers, referred to as witches in-game, also broke off from their traditional village life, utilizing dark magic to attack others and hide out in the swamps where the villagers' iron golems couldn't get them. The witches could be a video in their own, but long story short, witches wanted to use forbidden magic to cure zombified villagers, and in return for their attempt to better village society, they were cast out like just another hostile mob. When the illagers broke off from village society, they went on to construct massive woodland mansions and spread out among the overworld, establishing raiding outposts. The villagers who abandoned their ability to build and relied solely on iron golems for defense were easy prey for pillager raiding parties. Witches, who often joined in the raids, used the attacks to steal vital resources for their alchemy, while the pillagers simply wanted to put their former brethren in the ground and kidnap others to be transformed into monstrous ravagers. Abandoned villages full of zombies and ruins littered the overworld just as often as inhabited villages, and without direct intervention by the player character, villages would probably go the way of the dodo. In fact, despite pillagers and human player characters sharing a genetic heritage, the pillagers were often hostile towards player characters, leading players to clear out pillager outposts and their woodland mansion bases, to the benefit of the villagers. In many cases, players visiting villages would work alongside iron golems to defend town populations, in return for discounts when trading, intertwining the plight of the player with the survival of the peaceful villagers. Moving away from their in-game lore, when it comes to villagers as a mob, their in-game mechanics truly breathe life into Minecraft's world. In Minecraft, villagers come in different professions, each represented by distinctive clothing and roles within the village economy. These professions include farmers that buy and sell produce, fishermen that produce fishing gear and will trade for raw fish, librarians who hold important knowledge of enchantment books, clerics who utilize potions and magic that is condoned by village society, butchers who buy and sell meat, blacksmiths that craft advanced tools, and more, each specializing in different trades and offering various goods to the players. Exploring villages scattered across the Minecraft overworld adds an element of discovery to the game, being a key part of any Minecraft playthrough. Each village is unique, featuring different structures, layouts, and populations of villagers, ranging from just a few houses to massive interconnected joint villages. Within villages, players can uncover hidden treasure and chests, unravel village lore through the buildings and other pre-generated structures in the area, and just relax with some other semi-intelligent mobs. Many players online will claim that villages provide players with inspiration for building their own structures that incorporate a lived-in feel. Players can also use materials and mobs from villages to establish new settlements from scratch, or expand existing ones using simple village reproduction mechanics to rapidly populate custom towns and cities. Even players that aren't crazy about villagers will have a few in their base utilizing villager trade mechanics and incorporating villager mobs into their designs. Villagers can also serve as valuable laborers, assisting players in construction projects, resource gathering tasks, and there are plenty of videos on YouTube showing how you can make automatic farms by utilizing villagers' AI. An interesting quirk of villagers is that they have their own AI-driven behavior, interacting with each other and their environment. They can also be seen working at their designated stations, socializing, throwing bread to children, or even sleeping at night. This behavior adds depth to the game's world, making villages feel alive and bustling with activity, adding an emotional element to what some see as nothing more than lines of code. In some of my own playthroughs, I've even gone on to name villagers using name tags to further help build a community around these pre-generated structures. One of the primary interactions players have with villagers is trading. Each villager profession offers a set of trades, usually involving exchanging emeralds, Minecraft's in-game currency, for various items. Players can acquire valuable resources, enchanted gear, and rare items through trading with villagers, making them very important for progression and resource acquisition in-game. Villagers can reproduce under certain conditions, typically by having access to beds and plenty of food. This mechanic allows villages to expand over time, with new villagers being born and contributing to the village's workforce and providing better trades than the villagers that came before. Population growth is absolutely essential for maintaining a healthy village economy and ensuring a steady supply of goods for players, since villager AI is known to lead villagers to often, well, get themselves killed. Villagers have been known to wander off, never to be seen again, get themselves trapped in caves, accidentally drown themselves, sometimes even in the town well, and some blockhead villagers will just openly hang outside during zombie attacks. Yeah, the villagers might have impressive lore, but when it comes to their current state in the game, they're not exactly the brightest. A key game mechanic to observe is villagers have a reputation system that influences their interactions with players and, more importantly, the trade price of goods. Protecting villagers from harm like pillager raids and trading with them positively impacts the player's reputation within the village, while harming villagers or causing disturbances can lead to negative consequences. Additionally, villages may spawn iron golems as guardians if the population is large enough, providing defense against hostile mobs and adding an extra layer of security to the village. Overall, whether you're a player that sees villages as nothing more than a free source of loot or a sacred part of the Minecraft overworld, villagers truly help Minecraft feel like a real living place with lore, communities, and ongoing conflicts. The addition of hostile pillagers, witches, and other illager mobs helps Minecraft work more like an RPG and less like a sandbox experience. While villagers might be shrewd traders, simple-minded mobs, and have complex mysterious lore, the villagers are, in my opinion, the most important mob in Minecraft. But what do you guys think? Do I oversell the value of villagers, or do you think that another mob is more important? I'd be more than happy to discuss in the comments down below. Now, if you've stuck around this long, feel free to like and subscribe to help support the show. If you subscribe, you won't miss out on my future video essays, commentary, and reviews on a wide range of topics ranging from video game lore to pop culture fads. Feel free to join the Robot Factory today. I'd love to have you in the audience. If you like the video, not only does it let me know that you guys want more content, but it helps me out personally in the YouTube algorithm, and I couldn't thank you guys enough. I hope you all have a great day. Don't zombify the villagers for better trades, it's messed up. And stay cool.